What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 7 of eBay Business Owners Podcast. Thank you for joining me. My name is Chris. I go by Daily Refinement online. You can find me on Instagram or you can email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com. Today, I want to go over 3 reasons why you should not quit reselling. I think this is a really good topic because there's a lot of negativity in the world, especially on social media. So it might be a good time for you guys to take a break from social media and just get straight into it. But I want to give you guys an idea. These are the 3 reasons why you should not quit reselling. You guys ready for this? Okay, so the first tip is you get to decide what kind of reseller you want to be. Okay, do you want to be somebody who just makes an extra $100 a week reselling stuff around the house? Do you want to be enterprise where you have staff and employees? Do you want a warehouse? Do you want to do it only with one shelf? You could decide however big you want your resale business to be. You can do exactly what you want. There's no rules. That's one of the benefits of opening your own business. You can make it as big or as small as you want. So I want you guys to really focus in. This is the number one reason you should not quit. You get to decide exactly how you want to be. So if you're struggling and you're not able to get to the next level, maybe take a step backwards, maybe tighten up. I have not actually grown my eBay business since April 1st. I don't know if you guys know that. I've been at the exact same level, which is around 1,000 items per month selling. And that is what I can comfortably do in the space that I live in. Okay, for me to get to the next level, it's more complicated. I have to have more staff. I have to have a bigger space. I have to have more suppliers. It's complicated. It starts to be a little bit different. And last month, I had my best month ever. And it felt weird, honestly. I did 45,000 in sales and felt like I was going backwards. So that was at least towards my goals. You guys know I'm trying to balance a whole bunch of different projects, but reselling is my rock. That's why I want you guys to not quit reselling. You can decide however big you want it to be. If you want to go back and get a job, I definitely recommend doing that. Thanks, Ahmad, for the super chat of $100. Ahmad's awesome. I actually stayed up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning a couple of days ago talking to Ahmad about the flexibility of your resale business. You can make it as big or as small as you want. And I want you guys to think about this. My new goal for Poshmark is to have 100,000 transactions over my lifetime. It's the same goal for eBay. I just think that's fun. On Poshmark, I'm at 4,000 items listed. And so it's nice because I can see, okay, I'm 4% to my goal. I can just work towards that. I'm not worried about when, just eventually I will get there. I think it's fun. You can work on the exact parameters that you want to work to. So don't just get super down on yourself if you're not growing your business exactly how you want to be, because you get to decide. You can actually make it smaller or bigger. And the people who are comfortable in their own skin are the ones that are going to make it. Okay, so one more thought on that before I get to the next tip is I just did an event with the Reseller Fam, great group of ladies. We did it in Kansas City this year. Around 230 people came, full-time resellers, right? More than 200 of the 230 people sell between 50 and 100 items a week full time. Okay, so just write that number down. 50 to 100 items a week is the normal full-time or part-time reseller that's just looking for things, thrifting, retail arbitrage, etc. You do the best you can with 50 to 100 items. People say, oh, I only pick up things that are $20 profit or whatever. Not really. Like if you look at people who've been doing this for a while, they do the best they can. They're going to pick up stuff that's $5 that they get for free, $5 profit, because maybe it'll sell right away. Like no one's going to not buy a video game for $1 if it's worth 20. You're still going to pick it up, or even 10, just to get stuff in your store that's moving. The one consistent thing about reselling that all of us know is that if you consistently add inventory into your account, it's going to stimulate the entire store. So the main solution when you're not doing well is really to list more on trend items, right? Find things that are better and your reselling business will improve. So 50 to 100 items is the norm. That's pretty much the max for a one-person operation. Now, if you're like me and you have full-time help, you can grow a little bit larger. I am in the 250 item per week bucket, right? So I can define myself as 250 items per week. If you're having trouble because your significant others don't believe you and they're like, oh, whatever, your thing is not that, you're not serious, it's just for fun, they're not taking you seriously, it's because your business isn't big enough for them to like Get it. Plus, also, hurting people hurt other people. You guys should write this down. If someone is like not taking you seriously, they're not taking themselves seriously, because that's extremely rude. When people tell me, "Hey, I'm trying to work on my resale business. I'm just getting started." I don't say to them, "You're not taking it seriously. You should do something else." That's extremely rude. I have no idea what that person is going through. I have no idea what their situation is. People who just write you off like that usually are hurting themselves, because I don't meet rich people like that. When I meet rich people and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" They're like, "Good." They'll ask me, "Chris, what are you up to?" I'll be like, "Oh, I'm trying to do this or that." And they're like, "Great. Tell me more. How's it going? How's that working for you?" I've never had one person that's rich say that's dumb, ever, ever. I've never heard that. I only hear that from people who are struggling. People who are struggling are like, "Oh, you could never make it reselling. You could never do this. You could never do that." I don't hear that from people who are abundant. It's the opposite, actually. They're like, I'm going to look into that. That's their reaction. It's like, you can make money working from home, selling used shoes on the internet. Let me look into that. And that's how abundant people think. So anyway, the way you treat yourself is going to be how you feel. And whatever you want to be versus where you are is your happiness, right? If you want to be a 500 person item a week company, right, with a warehouse and multiple employees and wholesale accounts, and you are at home with a death pile of 20 items and haven't listed anything, haven't gotten started, you're going to be so unhappy, because what you want versus what you do doesn't match. Okay. So try to do the things that are required. Write down the very next step. Don't put start resale business on your to-do list. That's way too freaking broad. Okay. Narrow it down to like, okay, first thing, I'm going to live in California. I'm going to go online to the state franchise board and apply for a resale license. It's free. Okay. You're going to get a document from the state of California saying, here you go. You don't have to pay sales tax on items that you plan on reselling. Doesn't cost any money. It's a great way to get started. It's a great way to take yourself more seriously. Okay. No one looks at my business and says I'm not taking it seriously, nor do I care. Okay. It doesn't matter what they think. It's just what I think. My business is almost exactly what I think it is. So I'm usually a pretty happy camper. Okay. Number 2. This is super, super awesome. I need you guys to think about this, because no one told me this and it ruined my life. Okay. And that is, you do not need to start a business to get rich. Okay. I wish someone had told me that when I went to school for entrepreneurship at the University of Utah. I went to school with Hustle at Home Mom. I don't know how it's possible we went to the same college for 4 years and didn't run into each other, and now we're both in e-commerce. So weird. But in Utah, I did not hear that. Okay. All I heard was, if you want to get out of this race, you've got to start your own company and work for yourself. That is not true. Okay. That is totally not true. I know plenty of wealthy people that have never started their own business. Okay. If you live in the Bay Area, most likely, if you are wealthy, it's not because you started a business. It's because you worked at a company for 20 to 30 years. You were conservative and you bought a piece of property. That's like 90% of the rich people here. They're not entrepreneurs. If 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs fail, there's no way that all the people here who have money, it's because of being an entrepreneur. It's not that. I'm actually following a 3-step system to become wealthy, and it's working. And I want to share it with you guys. And that's why you shouldn't quit reselling. Okay, the first thing that you want to do to become abundant and wealthy is make $50 an hour. Okay, so you've got to learn how to make money. You have to be valuable enough that people will pay you $50 an hour. You could be a copywriter. You could be in sales. You could be in accounting. Every occupation, you can get talented enough for the most part to the point where people pay you $50 an hour. Even detailing cars. There's people who make $5,000 per car to detail a car a certain way. You need to become valuable. If you don't understand this, you will never, ever become rich, in my opinion. And so I want to share one more thing with you guys. I used to sell cars, right? And I'd have people come in and they would say, hey, I want to buy a $40,000 car. Great. And I'd be looking at their finances, because, I'd be like, first of all, you want to buy a car, are you paying cash? Are you financing? How are you doing it? They're like, oh, I'm going to be paying cash, but can you take a look at my finances and give me your opinion? So I'm like, sure. I look at their opinion. So it's like, no debt, $500,000 in the bank, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, no debt, $500,000 in the bank. What do you do? And they're like, oh no, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just looking for things to do. And then my first thought is like, why are you spending money if you have no job? That's so weird. You have no income. And they're like, no, I don't have any income. I just like inherited this money. And so I'm just trying to be wise with my money and buy a Lexus, because it's not a show off car like BMW or Mercedes. It just kind of like, I'm doing okay, but I don't want to show off. So I'm like, okay, why are you so scared then? Because if you have 500K, shouldn't you just be able to write a check for a car and be okay? And that's not the case. The people who are like that are living in crazy fear because they have no skill, right? This person I'm selling a car to has no ability to earn money. And that's from them telling me, I don't know how to replace this money. I got this money, but I don't know how to make it. I don't have any skills. Maybe they have a good degree, but they have no actual valuable skills. Okay, big difference between being smart and having a skill that people will pay money for, right? I can turn on eBay store reviews and earn $50 an hour because people value me telling them a second opinion on their store. That becomes valuable, right? That's worth $50 an hour, in my opinion, for someone to look at your store, tell you what they think of your pictures, description, title, etc. In my opinion, that is worth $50 an hour. Is it worth more than that? Not really, unless, because it's not rocket science to write a perfect title. You could actually just copy a successful store and get the gist of it. But you need to earn $50 an hour somehow. It's really important, because if you don't, you will not earn enough money beyond your expenses to invest into other things. Okay, here's the second part of getting wealthy. You need to invest in things that earn 10% or more. Okay, that's it. And you should probably never lose. If you follow Warren Buffett, there are two things that he does to make money. The first thing is don't lose money. And the second thing is don't lose money. And I cannot tell you how fast my reselling business has grown because I really don't lose money. Like, I'm buying stuff for $1. Worst case scenario, I'm selling it for $7 shipped. Okay, that is horrible. That means I totally failed. And at that point, I still don't lose money. I think I still break even on an item that I bought for $1 and sold for $7 shipped first class, not losing money there. That's amazing. Okay, most things that you try to invest in, the chances of losing money are very high, right? Bonds and stocks, if you're day trading, you really have no idea. You can guess, but the chances of earning 10% that's well above market. If you're buying a mutual fund or a bond or a stock and you earn 10% a year, people are like, great job. But for most of us, reselling is a great way to do it. And the way most people get rich is they basically resell a house that appreciates over time. That's it. It's really not that complicated. I know tons of people that are worth $900,000 to $2 million that didn't do anything except for have a regular job and invest in very conservative stuff that didn't lose money over time, right? So you should always resell because you need the skill of flipping stuff. It's really, really, really important that you have a skill that you can flip things. If you don't, this skill will teach you a lot of very, very important disciplines, and it'll teach you the value of items, right? So I can get this Mickey Mouse tie for $1 at Goodwill or $30 at the Disney store, right? So it just is incredible. You have to learn how to resell because it'll give you the 10% investment that you need. Okay, the third part, and if you want to speed it up, right? If you want to get rich faster, you need to create a scalable company. Okay. So this is hard to swallow, but if what you do cannot be repeated, you do not have a business. Okay. You have a hobby, because businesses don't do that, right? If you go apply at Subway and you're like, I know you guys have a way of making sandwiches, but I'm just going to make them how I want to make them. I'm going to show up whenever I want. I'm going to have some sandwich supplies in the bathroom. I'm going to have some sandwich supplies in the garage, and I'm just going to make part of the sandwich sometime. It's not going to be a successful franchise. You can't do that at Subway. You have to make a sandwich exactly how they tell you how to do it, right? So this is a statistic that I totally just made up, which is I think that Subways are designed to sell 150 sandwiches a day. Now, I don't know where I got that statistic, and I heard it, and I think I'm just gonna go with that as a real statistic. Okay, so just bear with me. Let's say a Subway is designed to sell 150 sandwiches per day. When you look at a Subway franchise, there's usually 3 or 4 people working there. Okay, so that makes sense to me, because if you're looking at the maximum capacity of resellers, it's really like 50 a day max. If you are like is it Reselling Mama on Instagram or some of the other YouTubers that are crushing it, like balls of the wall, working really hard, efficient, smart, they're at like 50 a day, okay, which is really, really, really efficient. That's still only 250 a week. But if you look at a Subway, 150 sandwiches, it takes 3 people to make that. Okay. And I think it's pretty cool that everyone that's listening right now in your chat, you could do more business than a Subway by yourself. If you have 400 to 800 square feet, you could make more money than a Subway franchise without the royalty, just by yourself. If you learn how to resell like liquidation, closeout, pallets, if you do storage auctions, if you do thrifting, if you do online arbitrage, if you shopgoodwill.com, if you do government auctions, if you get the inventory in and you know how to process it and sell it out the other direction, you will actually be able to do it. Okay, so now the third thing. This is maybe the most important thing that kills it. The number 3 reason why you shouldn't quit reselling is you do not have to work in isolation. Okay. It's one of the few online businesses where you don't need to do it by yourself. Believe it or not. When I did those listing parties, there are people who hopped on and they're like, Chris, I've been doing eBay for 20 years and I have not ever seen another person list an item. And I'm like, bro, are you serious? Like, there's so many people in the reselling community that you could reach out to and they'll let you follow them around. And that's how I learned how to do every single part of my reselling business. I didn't understand FBA, so I had somebody come to my house and show me how to do it. Didn't understand retail arbitrage, so I went to Marshall's with my friend Jake. I bought him pancakes, and then he taught me how to use all the coupon apps. He taught me how to resell. He taught me how to look over a men's clothing item to make sure the defects were not there before I left. In one day, I learned how to resell from somebody else. Okay, so like that's invaluable. And it didn't even cost me anything beyond pancakes. Okay, so this is why it's so weird when I put together an event and people want it to be free. I don't want it to be free. Like, do you guys understand the law of reciprocation? If you go hang out with somebody and you buy them pancakes, they are obligated to you to return at least pancake worth of value to you. Unless they're a total douchebag, they will return the pancake value to you. Okay, it's very important. So I don't like things to be free. I want to give some value, receive some value. Okay, so you do not have to work in isolation. That's the number one key to being unhappy. Just hanging out with yourself all day. That's really toxic. Okay, so I put on my Instagram feed, like, do you guys have any tips for getting married? Because I want to get hitched. And I think that there's probably 90 messages out of 300 that came in that involve don't talk to your wife if either of you are hungry. Okay. That's pretty awesome. That means 30% of your marriage happiness is just based on the fact that both of you are well fed and feeling okay. It's probably going to be all right. The other stuff that you can work through. But think about that. You have to hang out with yourself all day in your eBay business, right? If you are hungry, which most of us are, I probably spend a good 2 to 3 hours a day thinking about what I want to eat, even though I have food. You're a terrible person to spend all day with. Horrible. Okay, so just start networking, start hanging out with different people, start meeting people that do the same thing as you. Or if you don't like reselling, hang out with other people that are doing similar kinds of projects. Okay, like there's a church that I go to when I need to really focus. And the reason why I like going to that church is because the church is converted into a co-working space during the week. Okay, it's a church on Sunday. I don't usually go on Sunday, but the rest of the week, if I'm feeling like stressed or anxious or whatever happens with being an entrepreneur, I will go to this church and it's full of entrepreneurs that are working for themselves. People who write blogs, people who do consulting work, people who do Fiverr, Uber drivers, all that. Well, whoever you are, just working for yourself, you're hanging out in that space and it helps motivate me. We live in a gig economy. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And that is actually like golden handcuffs. Okay. Most of you guys, including myself, you need a little bit of structure. Okay. You need some structure. So if you have an appointment with yourself at a coffee shop to get some listings done at 10 o'clock every Tuesday, right? And that's your only day off, show up for yourself, get your stuff done, right? And you will be able to take advantage of an investment that can earn you at least 10% money. Most resellers complain when they double their money. They're like, I spent 10, sold it for 30 and made 10. I failed. I only like to buy things for $2. I sell for 2,000. If it's not $2 for 2,000, then I'm not happy. That there are people like that, right? They're like, if I don't make over $100 a sale, then what's the point of rolling out of bed? They don't get out of bed for less than $100 profit, right? You're so spoiled compared to people who are like looking for government bonds that earn 3% a year, right? So you do not need to start a business to get wealthy. guys. You don't have to. You can just get a regular job where you earn $50 an hour. Okay, that's not easy, but you can just get wealthy having a $50 or more an hour job and then add in investments that you make 10% on a year. And over time, you are going to make bank. All right, let's take a look at the chat, see what people are saying. Thank you. Yeah, these glasses I ordered from AliExpress, baby. I was gonna sell them on Amazon and eBay, but I just decided that I'm gonna procrastinate on purpose, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not answering any Instagram questions because there's too many YouTube questions. So sorry, guys. You can also email me at Chris at dailyrefinement.com or 10konthebay@gmail.com if you want to. That email still works if you guys want to reach out to me there. That was my old street name. Let's see. Judah is saying that she appreciates, or is it Jude? Jude appreciates freedom, but also appreciates a bit of structure. So you guys know I'm a big fan of Jocko Willink, the Navy SEAL. I bought the same watch as him because if it's good enough for Jocko, it's good enough for me. But the idea of discipline equals freedom is really solid for me. I have a mastermind group in the morning, Monday through Friday at 6 in the morning Pacific. It's very, very self-serving. I get up in the morning, I immediately go and work with other resellers that are doing the exact same thing as me, going through the same issues, same questions, same burnout, same anxiety, same issues with eBay, same issues with Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon. People are having a bad day. I jump right into that. We work together, create some solutions, write down a couple of things that we want to do that day and go for it, right? It's totally self-serving because I'm in that great mindset all day, right? And it's kind of hard to be negative when there's other people around you that are trying to make the best of their day. Your startup friends don't get it. You get rich because you made 30 bucks instead of, I know. Yeah. I mean, startup life is crazy. Okay. You're working hoping for some big giant payoff. And I did that in my entire 20s. All I did was start companies. And I'm telling you right now, I wish someone had told me that you do not need to start a company to be a millionaire in 7 years. All you have to do is make 100 grand a year or more, which is $50 an hour, and invest, and don't be a jerk with your money. Just be frugal, right? That's why right now I'm totally enjoying my no car payment Prius that gets 50 miles a gallon. I'm loving it. I love it so much. It's the best car ever. I think positivity is the key to abundance. I don't think so. I know a lot of miserable people that are super rich. Okay. I don't think so. I think the key to abundance is being valuable. I know that sounds weird, right? But if you're super valuable, if you have Taylor Swift tickets, right, that are sold out and there's 200,000 tickets and you got them at 80 bucks and they sell for 100, you could sell out the entire stadium in one day and you could be super miserable or super happy. It doesn't matter. You're just super valuable to society. And so that creates the difference between the value of what you have and what people want is really high. And that's what makes you rich. You do not have to be happy to be rich. You do not have to be, it's actually not related how happy you are or how positive you are. How do I deal with burnout? I have been extremely grateful lately. So I haven't been burned out. Actually, so you guys know I had an existential crisis because I had not a bunch of people, like I'm from Utah, so a lot of people reach out to me because spiritually they feel like that's what I've been missing and that's what will take me to the next level. And it sparked something in me a while ago that makes it so I don't get burned out anymore, which is the fact I don't focus on myself that much. So I only get burned out when I think about me. Okay. So I'm not thinking about me right now. I actually spent some time writing down 3 things I think will really help you guys. It's as valuable of a content that I can come up with in a short amount of time. That makes me not burned out because I'm happy to share these ideas with you. If you disagree and you think it's garbage, you'll email me and I'll think about it and I'll take it with a grain of salt. And my answer will be thank you. If you say I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I look terrible today, or you say I look great today, I love your advice, you really helped me, you helped me pay off some debt. All of those things that come towards me, I always respond with the same thing, which is thank you, right? eBay's having glitches, thank you, right? eBay is on fire. Thank you. It's the same. I'm not trying to get too high or too low. when I see things happen, it happens to most people. So I just roll with the punches. I actually had 300 items where all the photos were deleted except for the gallery photo, but it really didn't even bother me. I was just like, okay. And then I have the pictures on a different platform so I can pull them down and re-upload them. But I didn't do that. I just discounted those items a little bit to see if they'll move anyway. I actually trolled a customer. He said, do you mind posting more photos? And I'm like, bro, I take tons of photos. What are you talking about? And then I went back to the listing to realize I only had one photo. Yeah. Oh, you like how brutally honest I am? That's a trait that I love about myself. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but I try to be as honest and straightforward as I can. What's up, Shay? I may have a treat for Shay, so I'll DM you later. You don't need money to be happy, but you do need good food. I really agree with that. 30% of the comments that came in for me to have a happy marriage are related to food. So that is great. That's great to know. You feel like a person can never learn too much. I do. I think you can definitely learn too much. With Derek Sivers, my boy, who said, he's not my boy, he's just the guy I like. He said, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. Okay, I love that advice. If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. There's a lot of things that are all right that I can just say no to right now because they're not a hell yeah. Like my relationship with Shay, it's a hell yeah. So it's easy for me to contain that. But there is such thing as too much knowledge. And Derek Sivers said, if information was the key, all of us would have six packs and be billionaires. It's not true. You do not need more information, right? You should go on a low information diet. You should take a break from YouTube and just figure out how to do your business, right? And you won't miss it. Trust me, you will not miss it. Sometimes I take a 2 or 3 1 week break from Instagram. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. Giving back gets rid of burnout. I agree with that. And when you think about other people, you don't burn out. You have 600 listings disappear. Wow, that's horrible. So you got 600 listings disappear. That's horrible, especially if eBay is your only income source. That makes it really hard. It's hard to have a nice day when you can't pay your bills, right? I totally get it. I have been there. Life's been pretty rocky sometimes, and it's weird because obviously it's easier to feel abundant and gracious when things are going well, right? It's a much bigger test to be able to do that when things are bad. If you're having a horrible day, it's really hard to not focus on how bad of a day you're having, right? It's easy to put people off. Someone's having a bad day, right? And they'll respond with stuff like, must be nice to be you, right? I wish I had that problem. But then that's just when people talk, it's just a reflection of themselves. That's why I'm trying not to be negative. Although I am going to tell you guys a secret. So please hit the like button. That would help me out, help other people find this channel. But I'm going to tell you guys a secret of things that I'm going to do. And hopefully you appreciate it. But I'm going to do my best to give you guys 3 things that truly help your business each one of these episodes, right? 3 actionable tips. So today it is, you get to decide what you want to do with your eBay business or reselling. If you want to make it smaller or bigger, it's okay. Just own it, right? Decide what you want to do. Stick with it because you can decide how big you want it to be. If it's getting overwhelming, shrink it a little bit. The next thing is, you don't need to start a business to get wealthy. You can just buy things that earn 10% or more and be wise with your money, and reselling is really easy to find that. And the third thing is, you don't have to work alone. Reselling is good for the psyche. If you find the right people to surround yourself with, it can be fantastic. Okay. So anyway, those 3 things I want to give to you guys every single day. That's what I'm trying to make with my channel right now. Be as valuable as I can, and a few little Easter eggs in there like this one. I've been reading a lot about what makes people do stuff, because I don't want you guys to watch my channel and not do anything. Okay. So people who are in the chat right now that are going to watch another YouTube video after this, don't do that. Okay. Go do something that's related to your reselling business to grow it. But this is how I'm going to catch you. Okay. I consider myself a pretty talented copywriter. I'm going to hook you with my titles. You guys ready for this? So I'm going to start using even numbered titles. Okay, with 1 negative word in there and a number. Ready? So like 3 reasons you shouldn't quit reselling. That is a tactical masterpiece. Okay, so I've got the number in there, 3 reasons. I put shouldn't and quit, 2 negative words in there, and it's a nice even 6 words. Okay, so I am going to suck you guys in with my titles, and then give you 3 things to actually do, and then go do them. That's the whole point of my channel. Hopefully that works for you guys. Hopefully it's not too silly, but that's how I'm going to plan on doing this. So I'm going to write some very, very enticing titles. Like, for example, is the end of reselling here? Is the end of reselling here? You have to watch that video. So you're going to click on it and you're going to get in there. And instead of a negative drama piece, you're going to get 3 things that are actually going to help you move to the next level. Let's see here. You get exactly 6 reasons to not eat pizza is what Duncan is saying in the chat. That would hook me into watching it, right? Because that would be like, I can't even think of one reason not to eat pizza. That's not true. Pizza makes me feel super weird, so it's easy to not do it. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna hook you guys in, give you 3 tips on how to kill it, and then move on to the next day. So that's what I'm trying to do. I think you guys should all quit. If you're feeling negative, you can email me. Sometimes I'm going to respond snarky. Okay, that's just my personality. But if people, you send me an email like, what can I do to improve my resale business? There's a 30% chance I'm going to give you a snarky response. Most of the time I'll give you something positive. If you catch me at the wrong time now, I may answer with a really silly answer. So take that with a grain of salt. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Please hit the like button and subscribe. If you find somebody else that you find that may find value from this content, please share it with them. Everyone have a great 4th of July. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.